This is by far the worst smear article of Star Wars I have ever read in my entire life. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, many people have been talking about this article. I've seen this article myself. I've read it. This article is just filled and riddled with lies about Star Wars. Oh, God. It's so terrible. I mean, where do we begin with how awful this is? I mean, of course, Bethany Lessina, we'll talk about her in a moment too, but she's the one who wrote this. The latest Star Wars film satisfies the right wing. Will the left start trolling? Really? Okay, when it comes down to Star Wars was a story that any person could enjoy. It didn't matter whether you were right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It never mattered where you stood politically. It was a story that everybody could understand. To say that this appealed to the right is wrong because there are people on both the right and the left that liked and disliked this movie. It's one of the most absurd, stupidest things I've ever heard. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, leaves theaters soon. Critical reception was middling. Box office receipts collapsed, ending below those of The Last Jedi and Rogue One. But right-wing trolling of the film was mild compared to the backlash against The Last Jedi. This latest movie avoided that ire by moving Star Wars politically right. Oh my dear God. Ugh. So has Lucasfilm replaced its right-wing troll problems with a left-wing one? Probably not, compared to the previous film. The Rise of Skywalker slighted fans with less visibility in the fandom, media, and fewer ways to monetize their criticisms. Okay, so first off, The Rise of Skywalker has gotten more, if anything, bad press reviews than The Last Jedi ever did by the media. And talk about the fandom media trying to monetize their criticisms. Thing is, it's more than just trying to get money. And, mind you, a lot of content creators, they get demonetized for a lot of things. So, not every video of reviews when it comes to Star Wars, people are getting ad revenue or they're getting money off of it. So they're not getting as much money as they like to think that they are. Ugh. Media, these journalists, they don't understand anything. They don't. They're so stupid. It's all just clickbait articles. So stupid. After The Last Jedi, an online campaign took issue with the film's feminism, leftism, and diverse casting. The right-wing critique was so durable that it has a nickname, the Fandom Menace, which even Lucasfilm uses. Anger at The Last Jedi became a business. Popular anti-Last Jedi videos on YouTube have millions of hits translating to tens of thousands of dollars for the creators. Right-wing personalities sell Fandom Menace apparel. Entrepreneurs raised $50,000 in seed money for an anti-The Last Jedi comic book and almost $10,000 for a multi-volume history of the Phantom Menace. Okay, so what's wrong with that? Somebody's making money off of their opinions as well as making money off of their own thoughts. What's wrong with that? You see, I don't see anything wrong with that because what's wrong with being able to make money off of your own opinions? I don't understand that. See, that doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Many observers see TROS as an apology to The Last Jedi haters. Of the 53 TROS reviews by top critics archived on Rotten Tomatoes, you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes at all, as of January 15th, 44 described the movie as a reversal intended to win over the fans that disliked The Last Jedi. Every time it's always like this. It's always, the fans are bad, they always are terrible, and they don't deserve to have any special treatment. If you're going to sell tickets to a movie, if you're going to have a TV show or something, you're going to do something fan servicey for the fans. You want to keep your fans invested. You want to do things that your fans would like, appealing to them with fan service. There's nothing wrong with that. And That's a good way to reel people in. Tross invites the perception that it is made with conservative, white, and male audiences in mind. Really? Oh, whatever. After suggesting that there would be a same-sex relationship in Tross, filmmakers included two women kissing in the background of a scene. Yeah, we've talked about that. A moment easily censored for overseas markets. Tross nearly eliminates the character Rose Tico, played by Asian actress Kelly Marie Tran, and this is where they go on to Lies again, who was the focal point for right-wing hate for her role in The Last Jedi. That never happened. There was no hate for her. The character, people did not like Rose Tico because she was poorly written as a character, but nobody hated Kelly Marie Tran. The stuff of her getting attacked, it never happened. Kelly Marie Tran never got attacked by people on Twitter and social media like they say. That never happened. They just made that up so that they could say she got attacked. Never really happened. Despite all of this, a left-wing trolling campaign against Tross is unlikely. Fandom politics and nature of internet will probably curb the anti-Tross backlash. A smaller fandom platform. The most visible Star Wars media is made by white men. Okay, so we're doing this now. Yeah, of course. For example, until 2018, the Star Wars website included links to fan podcasts, which I collected for past research. 38 of the 56 shows had male hosts. Okay, who cares? Only one had a person of color as a host. Going back to my previous statement, who cares? The most important thing is that the audience is having fun, right? So who cares about that stuff? The most important thing is that you're entertaining your audience. That's what it should be about. I mean, that's all it should be about. Some of these fan media outlets supported the Last Jedi backlash. For example, Rebel Force Radio, one of the oldest outlets, pivoted to cater to a right-wing audience. See, that's the thing. They're so bird-brained. It's all about the right wing because they're so against anybody that's not with the woke side. If you are not woke, you are considered alt-right, even if you're not alt-right to them, because you're the enemy. That's the way they see it. They're idiots. They don't make any sense. They're illogical. Like I said, bird brains. And that's the big thing. You know, they're so dumb with their ideology that, you know, they just make enemies out of anybody and they just call them alt-right. It's just senseless. It's stupid. And even if people were alt-right, they have a valid opinion as much as anybody else. I mean, that doesn't mean that you just shut out their opinion because they're alt-right anyways, but that, you know, doesn't mean that everybody that likes Star Wars is alt-right, because they're not. Not everybody that likes Star Wars is alt-right. You know, there are people of the left that like Star Wars as well. So you can't make that claim just because somebody says, oh, well, I don't like The Last Jedi. That doesn't mean that they're alt-right. That doesn't mean that at all. I mean, they just make up stupid stuff to say who their enemy is. It's just completely illogical and really stupid. The Last Jedi and the right-wing media. Right-wing anti-The Last Jedi content was helped along by non-Star Wars media as well. Dismay with The Last Jedi was part of the coverage right-wing cultural grievances in outlets such as the Federalist and National Review, and by alt-right influencers including Ben Shapiro and Jack Posobiec. Ben Shapiro, of all people they're calling alt-right? Ben Shapiro. Yeah, okay, this proves to me that they don't understand the meaning of the words they say, that the woke crowd, they just sit over there and they just blurt out whatever comes to mind, but I don't think they know what the word really means. I think they just try to make it a bad word, despite the fact that it's not really a bad word. If anything, when they use words that actually are bad, like calling people ist or phobes, I don't even think they know the meaning of those words either. I mean, I don't think they know. I think they just throw words out there to try to make people look bad that they find as their enemies. Because that's what it seems like. It seems like the woke crowd just does that. It seems like they just come up with whatever terrible thing they can think to call somebody, and then they just do it despite the fact that it doesn't even fit the category of what that actually means. So I think they just kind of come up with whatever the worst thing just comes to mind they can say to somebody. I mean, they're NPCs. They all just shout and spew the same nonsense, say the same thing anyways. But Bethany Lucina, who wrote this article, this is what she had to say on Twitter about this. How the Rise of Skywalker learned to stop worrying and love the alt-right Star Wars trolls. By me. This piece owes a big debt to research by Informal Majesty. See, she's so proud of this terrible piece. It's just filled with lies. But hey, that eraser, awesome guy. He came in, and this is what he had to say about a few things. Because we know that, for one, we know that the Reylos were going crazy. And what he had to say was, the Washington Post is defending Reylos, saying their harassment of Jar Jar Abrams was a hoax created by the alt-right fandom menace. Woke Star Wars fandom was telling the Reylos to stop sending threats and harassment to him after TROS premiered. And this is the Washington Post that Data Eraser archived. A Fandom Menace account manufactured a hoax claiming Reylos were sending death threats to the TROS director. BuzzFeed credulously reported the claim. Another troll used a temporary account, a sock puppet, to provoke one of TROS stars, John Boyega, as well. Now, it shows you that the Reylos were doing these things, and then of course there were all these archived tweets that Data Eraser had as well, which we've gone over these tweets before, and that's the big thing. We know that the Reylos went after Jar Jar Abrams after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, it's not that hard. We've seen it. We've gone over it before. So, I mean, them trying to dismiss that and say that this never happened is absolutely ridiculous. Data Eraser was good for archiving all this stuff to prove it. And Data Eraser also had a great and excellent comment to Bethany Lucina. I love what he says here because he burns her bad. You also accused Ethan Van Sciver of getting Chuck Wendig fired because people probably found Wendig's tweets via EVS. No, Bethany, Chuck got himself fired. And all Twitter saw it. This was the most laughable thing I saw in 2018. And I remember that back in 2018. Chuck Wendig, he went crazy. He said some of the most outrageous things. It was absolutely ridiculous. So, of course, Data Eraser also archived some of the things that Bethany said as well, which this was great. This is all the way back in 2018. Friday, Chuck Wendig lost his contract with Marvel Star Wars because of his Twitter. His mistake was to attract sketchy Twitter, probably via Ethan Van Sciver. This graph is tweets to, from, and Wendig before after his civility tweets on October 6th. And that's the thing. Wendig did it to himself. It wasn't Ethan Van Sciver. Wendig screwed himself over. He lost his own job because of himself. James Woods, even he retweeted this. Not surprising that you're well versed in anal prolapse. Good job, James Woods. And then, of course, you have Chuck Wendig, which you can just see that right there. I'm not going to repeat what he said. And then Ben Shapiro. Sir, this is a white castle. Oh, but that's my point. You see, the big thing is that this article is nothing more than a smear piece to say that, oh, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker was the way it was because it was to appeal to the alt-right. No, it wasn't. It was a film that was made. I mean, yes, did it try to repair what The Last Jedi did? Yes. Did it fail at it? Well, yeah, because there was no way you were going to clean up that mess anyways. But still, the entire point of the movie was to appeal to everyone. It wasn't supposed to be about appealing to one side or the other. This movie was meant to appeal to everybody, no matter what they believed in politically. And that's the thing. This article right here is riddled with lies. It is the worst smear piece I think I've ever seen in terms of Star Wars. This is just a horrible, lie-infested article. It's just absolute trash. It is a dumpster fire. But anyways, Let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from their favorite channels. So make sure you are still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like if you enjoyed. Share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated. It really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there, and it'll keep you updated on any time that a new video will be released, as well as any other upcoming events. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today, and remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.